of us. A view from Indianapolis shows you that they're popping up all over the place. They're going to be strong, and they're going to be moving through the tri-state. We also have a tornado watch in effect on areas that I've highlighted in red there. That's Butler, Warren, Clinton, Preble, Montgomery, and Greene counties, and in Indiana, Franklin and Decatur counties. Now, I'll be giving you all the latest information on this. Plus, I'll show you a look at the next 30 to 90 days. It's not a pretty sight, coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks a lot, Joe. Now, in case you're wondering why we're having so many tornadoes in June, it's really not all that unusual. June ranks second for the number of tornadoes each year. The month that ranks first is March.
Well, the threat of these vicious June tornadoes became reality for parts of Kansas and Missouri overnight. 21 people are hospitalized in Emporia, Kansas. The huge twister tore through the small town, leaving the now familiar scenes of damage and uprooted lives. The Kansas National Guard has been called in to guard against looting. Well, the last thing folks in Dearborn, Hamilton, and Butler counties need right now is a threat of more devastating weather. In fact, tomorrow in Harrison and Fairfield, people can sign up for federal help from last weekend's twister. News 5's Jeff Hirsh reports the federal disaster program got underway today in tornado-ravaged Bright, Indiana.
There's still a lot more cleanup to do in Bright. To help with that rebuilding, applications for federal disaster help are now being taken.
The purpose is to help the people recover their losses.
To do that, people can apply for low-interest loans, outright grants, or perhaps even tax refunds. All the appropriate agencies are here at North Dearborn School. Jeff and Cindy Batchelor want help to fix up their mobile home.
Well, it's half on the ground and half up in the air, and there's no blocks holding it up, so no storm hits, I don't want to be there.
Other people brought pictures.
Looks like a war zone. This is one of our neighbors that just lost everything. This is the neighbor lady across the street, and you can see the devastation that it has caused. It's taken off her front porch and these huge, huge old stately trees that have been there for years and years.
The federal disaster people will sort through all the paperwork as quickly as possible so folks can get some money. Now, keep in mind the feds will not pay for something your insurance will cover, but they could pay for items your insurance will not, and they could pay for even more if you have no insurance at all.
Bottom line is this: if you have even the slightest doubt over whether you could qualify for federal aid, go ahead and apply. I mean, when you've already lost everything, what else do you have to lose? Jeff Hirsh, News 5.
Federal aid centers opening tomorrow are at Harrison Elementary and Fairfield Freshman Schools. Now, we know there's a lot of interest in this story. Joe will have an update on the weather situation shortly, and we're also working on several other weather reports for you, including a look at the 30 and 90-day weather outlook.
In other news, in Texas tonight, the skies around Houston are filled with thick black smoke after a series of explosions ripped through a chemical plant. Take a look at the smoke and flames here at Solvents and Chemicals Incorporated in Pearland, Texas.
Oh, wow.
The fire was apparently triggered by a spark from a forklift that ignited 55-gallon drums of chemicals. If you look closely, you can see a drum exploding in midair. Miraculously, none of the workers inside the plant died, and only one suffered serious injuries. He has second and third degree burns. A Houston television reporter describes the scene as he saw it when he arrived there.
Field of streams.
The workers have been going for days trying to get the ball fields at Rumpke Park ready for play. They're putting up new fences where last weekend's tornadoes blew them away. A light pole has to be moved into place even though the park doesn't yet have electricity. The old one was snapped in half by the winds.
But even before the tornado hit, Rumpke was having more than its share of problems. Here's the reason why. This glop caused by all the rain we're having. Rumpke lost half of its May schedule alone, and since the tornadoes hit, the park has lost 225 games.
Those are games which they want to make up. Trouble is, they don't know if the weather will let them.
If it keeps it up, I might have to go into another line of work. That's just killing me. I can't stand the rain. I'm sick of it.
At Denier Electric, just up the road, you can find softball bats stuck next to the duct tape. J.R. Williams plays shortstop on the company team, which plays at Rumpke. Trouble is, they've had as many games washed out this year as they've played.
Have to play some doubleheaders just like the Reds.
But the Reds have AstroTurf. Rumpke has grass. Brad Warman tells me the park should be ready for play tonight, if it doesn't rain. Good luck, Brad. Steve Forrest, News 5.
Now, it's not just the grown-ups who can't play their games. Kids playing knot-hole baseball are also having problems. One mother who has two kids says the teams are trying to make up so many games she had her kids playing games at the same time.
Survival of a community.